Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today is round 5 of my top 25 bourbon blind tasting tournament. So no giveaway today, no giveaway to announce today, and so let's get right into it. So A on the nose. A on the nose is very complex and has a couple good notes and some notes I'm not the biggest fan of. So the oak chocolate nuttiness were all good notes. Then I got like a black licorice note, a anise nose flavor that I'm not the biggest fan of. And a mineral note too that I also wasn't the biggest fan of. But see a little bit more. Yeah, it's that minerally note with all the other notes. But the mineral note I feel like is the strongest note. It's not a bad note, it's complex. But there is a couple of notes that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a big black licorice person. Like I cannot stand Jägermeister. So B on the nose is much dustier. You know, where A was on the nose very complex, B is lacking the complexity, but it's dusty, and that's basically all I'm getting out of it. Oh, I got some like fresh wood. It might even be grassy note. Let's go to C on the nose. This is a little bit more vibrant, more fruity, like raisiny fruits. A little nuttiness, darker. That's a good nose. Yeah, the dark fruit is definitely like the stronger note on the nose on C. Okay, D on the first whiff was a little off-putting, but then I don't know what note it was, but like immediately it was like dusty, purple grape. Yeah, so D is dusty, purple grape, oaky, a little bit of youthfulness. I don't know how I'm getting oaky and youthfulness, but it seems like a little like grassy a little bit. But that purple grape candy note is very strong in it too. Okay, E on the nose. Ooh, that's strong cinnamon like fire hots. Not cinnamon toast crunch like this would be something Amarana, but like cinnamon fire hots. And as I wrote down fire hots, that's a candy, right? The little red cinnamon balls. I don't know. Yeah, an E on the nose. Besides that, it's just like more muted notes like vanillas and oaks. All right. Very, very diverse set of noses. So we'll see how it tastes. Man, what is that nose now? Yeah, I wrote down chocolate. It was definitely like a lot of chocolate, and then that mineral note came back. Anyways, tasting. Okay, A on the first sip wasn't my favorite, and I'm thinking maybe it's because it's the first sip of the day type thing. We got oak chocolate, oily. It was a good mouthfeel, and wet peanuts, but it overall wasn't that good. Like that wet peanut note, and there was maybe some kind of astringency, maybe that mineral note in there that I didn't really like. But again, I'm gonna give it a second sip. So let's go. Even after the second sip, it's more of the same. I did write raisins, and I actually wrote mineral this time for like the finish. Man, what could this be? Let's give it another sip, see what happens. But it's so far it's not doing much for me. Yeah, after the third sip, it's a little bit more chocolatey and raisiny, but there's still like a minerally, almost metallic type note. And it's not the longest finish. And there's a couple of notes in there that I'm not the biggest fan of. So that's kind of disappointing, actually, whatever that is. Let's go to B. B better. Okay, so B on the taste was pretty all over the place. It was dark fruits, plums, raisins, dusty. Then there was some youthfulness notes. And then on the very like lingering note on the finish was like boiled chestnuts. I don't know. That's what I wrote. Okay, I don't know to tell you people. So definitely different than A for sure. And that was on the first sip. So let's see what second sip gives me. Yeah, the second sip kind of confirms what I said on the first one. So it's not a very sweet bourbon. It's very like darker, fruity, dark fruit notes. There's definitely some kind of wood note in there. So it's not great oak, it's not bad oak, but there's some kind of wood note in there. And that boiled chestnut is still at the end. So let's see what happens on a third sip. Third sip, the youthfulness kind of like starts in the beginning, and then all those dark fruits come in, kind of balance a little bit better, or make it taste better anyways. I don't know if it's that balanced because it's really just kind of the dark fruits. There's not too much sweetness. It's good. Man, the first two weren't the best, like mind-blowing stuff. So like, I know like the last round I did, those were all good. I don't know if these two would even compete with those. Boy. C on the palate. So C, I'm definitely gonna give another pour of, but it was like peanutty. It was more vibrant than B, which isn't saying much because this was so dark that anything would be much more vibrant than this one. But it was more vibrant, like in your face. The only notes I wrote though were peanut and then medicinal cherry. So let me give it another sip. Oh boy. So I just wrote a note that is ridiculous. So on the palate, I got the peanut and the oak, and then that medicinal cherry came in, and then like quickly, like deep fried chicken, like crispy chicken. I don't. I'm sorry. I wrote it down and everything, but then that medicinal cherry came back. Again, this isn't mind blowing to me either. I'm like, this last round is disappointing me. Let me tell you. Another sip. Yeah, see, same. I wrote peanut butter this time for the palate, but everything else was basically the same. Even the crispy, deep fried chicken note. Got it again on the finish. It's like a savory note. I don't know. I'm not hungry. I ate dinner not that long ago. But again, A, B, and C haven't been like outstanding to me. I know this is my list. I have no one else to blame besides myself. Oh boy, these two better be delicious. D on the palate. Okay, D redeemed at least the first four. That was very complex and pretty good, pretty good. It was char, oak, wood, so a lot of that in the front. Then it turned funky, like Texas funk, which I know I thought I drank the Garrison Brothers Cowboy already. I don't think it's that funky, but definitely has that like funkiness in it. What else? Let's see. Grape jam. There was definitely some proof there. And it finished with purple grape, but like not like a sweet candy. Like I usually say purple grape like Jolly Rancher or Lollipop, like it's so sweet. It's just purple grape, like the jam. Like it's not as sweet. You know what I'm trying to explain here. And then some cinnamon. So it's very complex. Nothing bad about it. In that like, maybe I won't call it Texas funk. Maybe I'll call it Southern funk. That Southern funk is just enough that it's not saying that the other one is off-putting, but it's definitely like a contributing thing and not the whole taste. So second sip. So after the second sip, I added dark fruits for the palate, like the more raisiny notes. And then on the finish, I found I got a little bit of like a sweetness in there, like the red Jolly Rancher note kind of put his little head in there and then went away, but enough that I noticed it. So D, after two sips, is blowing these three out of the water. It's not even close. So hopefully E can also be really good, so this isn't some weird thing that have to change the whole rules of this whole tournament on the final day. D, again, third sip, very good. All the notes are the same. There is like a wet, woodish type note that's kind of lingering at the end that I'm not the biggest fan of. But it's enough of a good experience that it's still like will score pretty good. But but the overall ending, the lingering, is still good. But there was just that wet, like, wood note that kind of was in there a little bit that I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay, let's try E. Okay, E on the palate, I wrote oak. There's definitely proof on it. And again, I didn't say in the beginning, but my wife blinded or poured all these blind for me. I just told her to put them in somewhat proof order, if not in proof order. So one of these two is probably going to be the highest proof. It definitely drinks proofier than the rest. So oak, proofy, fruit jam. I couldn't figure out what type of fruit. I was like debating between like strawberry and like grape, like purple grape. So I just put fruity jam. And maybe I'll try to figure it out on the second and third sip, but then it kind of finished nutty. Nothing off-putting. So I have really like a lingering, like oaky note. Okay, let's do a second sip on E. Okay, so E after the second sip, I wrote purple. It's purpley grape jam. It's rich. That's funny because I was looking at my notes, and I usually say cherry a lot. And the only cherry I ever said was medicinal cherry. And these have all been much darker flavor profiles. And it's funny that they kind of like end up being the same like group. So I don't, it's, you know, it's good that they are kind of in the same group because then you can really see the nuances against each other. I just don't know if this is my favorite profile, especially today anyways. Yeah, after the third sip, I got a little bit more cinnamon note. And that's about it, besides the things I already said. All right, so now I'm going to cut this off, A-B these. Definitely these two are way ahead of these three, but we'll see. You never know. My goal now is to kind of figure out exactly the scoring. Yeah, so I'll be right back. I'm back. My mouth is a little off fire. I think my wife poured a little bit too much of this one because I kept having to drink more and more of it. So I score these, and I don't know, man. So A and B, I both scored a 3. Each of them scored a 3. A, I did get on the finish some strawberry and vanilla like ice cream notes, and it's good. I love that. Except the problem with A was that mineral note that kind of was there the whole time, and I did not like that mineral note, which, boo. B was nothing new notes, so there's nothing really wrong with B. A was very complex and good, but it had that off-putting mineral note. That's why it got points taken away, basically. And then we go to C in third place, and I scored that 3.5. No new notes. That was very peanut buttery. So that was just tastier for my palate than these two. Then it came down to these two. And D, I scored a 4. Did I put any new notes? Doesn't look like it. Very complex, very good. It probably would have scored higher for maybe some other people based off the notes I told you guys. If you guys love that profile, maybe you guys would love this bottle. It just wasn't, I guess, 100% my cup of tea, and that's why it didn't score like higher than a 4. But it was very good. You know, I'll drink it. The proof is there. This might be one that I might actually drink over like a larger block of ice, which I rarely ever do, but this one might be one of those bottles I would do that with. So then E wins. I scored that 4.25, and I did put a new note for the palate for banana. This was just more of my palate than this one. Now, I scored a 4.25. I'm pretty sure it was last round where like the lowest ones were 4.25. So what I'm probably going to do, because the next video I'm going to have to record is the losers bracket, the constellation, the second chance bracket. It might be more than 5 bottles in there. So we'll see. That also reminds me, for the giveaway. So again, to enter the giveaway to win 2 ounce samples of each of these, Not that I gave them a ringing endorsement or anything, but maybe you want to try them. Subscribe, like, and comment with the hashtag 5th round. Right? Was I saying round like 4 before? I don't know. Whatever. Hashtag 5th round. I'm sorry. All right. That's that for these. So next video you guys will see will be the Constellation bracket. That would probably have more than just a 5. Just knowing me, I'm going to look at all the scores and kind of put a bunch up there that should have a fighting chance based off the scoring. Because again, I don't know what I'm drinking, and I'm trying to do this whole tournament before I even edit the first video. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, write in the comments what you guys thought about this lineup. What, did I do something dumb today? Probably. I scored a lot of stuff low today, so we'll see. So have a good, see ya. Bye.